Alright guys, back for number 2. Um, and it is Red Velvet. This just happened to be one that my coworker came in one day and asked if I'd heard of it, and I said no, and they played the trailer for me, and it looked really cool. Um, and I bought it from Amazon, and on Amazon all they have available is a DVD. Now, I went to his house last night, and there's the Blu-ray sitting there on his stack of stuff to be watched. And I was like, where did you get this? He's like, what do you mean? I was like, they didn't have a Blu-ray listed. He was like, yeah, Blu-ray right there. Did you get the magnets with it? Magnets? What are you talking about, magnets? I went on, there's like 6 magnets on his refrigerator. I didn't get any damn magnets. Well, he got it off eBay, straight from the fucking producer, so there you go. But anyway, whatever. It's cool, man. No, I'm just kidding. Um, so yeah, he introduced this to me. I bought it instantly because the trailer looked really cool. It actually stars, what's his fucking name? I forgot his name. You're going to kill me for this on Monday if you watch this video over the weekend. Sorry. He was an E.T. Henry Thomas. It's right on the cover. All right. God. Get with it, man. Anyway, Henry Thomas from E.T. is in it. Basically, this guy, he lives in an apartment building, and the upstairs neighbors are really loud and fight all the time, and it disturbs him. And one day after a fight, he sees the girl leaving, and he pretty much follows her to the laundromat where she's doing laundry. You know, she starts a conversation with him. Don't I know you? Yeah, I live in your building. Total douchebag to her, right off the bat. And somehow, after a very heated and insulting conversation between these two, he seems to convince her to go to a restaurant where he tells her, you know, I'm a storyteller. That's what I do. I tell stories. And she's like, oh, yeah, okay. Tell me a story. And he starts telling her a story about, I think it's his childhood, with a very abusive mother. And she sort of cuts him off and goes, oh, yeah, we've heard all that shit before. Tell me something else. Well, she had told him earlier that the reason that they got into a fight that day, her and her boyfriend, was because she was supposed to go to her friend's or sister's or her friend's birthday party at this cabin in some woods, in the woods. Her car was messed up, and her boyfriend wouldn't take her because he wanted to watch a game, a football game or something. So she got really pissed, and they had a fight. That was what it was about. So he says, well, how about I tell you a story about your friends in the cabin? We'll just make up a story. I'll make up a story. So that's what he does. She gives him some insight onto who these people are, what their names are, and he starts to make up this story about the cabin and a killer that picks them off one by one. So you're going in between them talking about it, and then of course it turns into movie within a movie type thing. Very cool kind of thing going on too, because there are parts where it will cut, and he'll describe you'll start seeing a killer, and it'll cut back to the dinner where she's going, no, killer's all wrong, you know, and they discuss a killer, so it'll cut back and what they're discussing the killer should be wearing, and they figure out the killer, which is a pretty cool killer. He's got, like, I can't show him. Well, actually, hold on. Nah, that doesn't really say anything. Anyway, he's wearing a white jumpsuit, and she made him have a pink tool belt. I don't know why. But they sort of collaborated on the way that this killer would look. And he's got on like a ski mask with a camera tied to his head. like a Polaroid camera tied to his head, so he will take pictures of the victims when the image will come out. He's got kind of these bunny ears on. Really interesting killer. And so he tells her the story about this, and she ends up having to go back home, and she goes home, and her boyfriend's not there, and she's so mad because he's supposed to be watching this game, and then she goes home and he's not even there. So she goes downstairs to her newfound friend, and he says, well, I'll take you up to the cabin and I can finish my story. So she agrees. And then things happen. Twists, different things. If you watch the trailer, you can kind of get what the twist is going to be. And then there's another twist at the end. But I really enjoyed this. I thought it was different. I thought it was very cool the way everything was shot. The way that it cuts back and forth between their conversation and showing what's going on. The story part where he's telling the story is very awkward, not awkward, but very, very strange. A lot of weird lighting used, a lot of purple lights, a lot of pink lights. It's very sort of surreal. It's got some good gore in it, got some really over-the-top stuff. Nudity. There's a sex scene that would, be on Skinamax if you wanted it to. It's pretty intense for a slasher movie. But I really liked it. The effects were great. They had some good actors. And it's sort of one of those movies where at the end you're not really sure what went on. I think the twist ending, there's a twist at the end, the very end, that sort of doesn't make any sense and sort of leaves the movie up to sort of, I don't even know. I can't explain. You'll just have to watch it. But I really enjoyed it. I thought it was very different and it was a whole lot of fun to watch. I can't really, at the end of the movie, you're kind of just like, what is that? What is going on? But I think overall it really worked. Just the cutting between the two things that were going on, and the way that the stories were told, and they were just odd characters, even in the real life, even in when they were, even when he was telling her the story, the waitress at the restaurant is just odd. She's just very strange. It's a very strange sort of way that they become acquainted. It's very unrealistic, because if any guy would have talked to this girl the way that he did, she would have never agreed to go to dinner with him. But that sort of not all plays into, but definitely works with the tone and the way that the movie is. It's very almost dreamlike, I guess you could say. But yeah, I really enjoyed it. And I would suggest that you pick this up quickly, because apparently the producers were involved in some sort of real estate scam, and that's how they funded the movie. And apparently there's a lawsuit going on right now, and they're actually trying to get this movie pulled, because basically they're making money from selling this DVD and the Blu-ray from criminal activity, I guess. I don't know anything else about it, but that's apparently the buzz on the internet. So this might not be available much longer. So if you want to see it, I would go ahead and pick it up. Apparently, if you go on eBay, you can get the Blu-ray with all the magnets. So I would recommend it. I thought it was a lot of fun. It doesn't say here on the back about the features, but there are some features. There's an interview with the cast, an interview with, there's some behind the scenes with some of the footage of the effects. I think something else too. Can't remember. But a lot of fun, very odd, very different, strange, sort of slasher, I guess slasher movie. But I really enjoyed it. I had a whole lot of fun watching it. I would definitely watch it again. It's definitely a keeper in my book. So yeah, I would say check it out. Red Velvet, starring the little boy from E.T. And I'm out, guys. I think I'm going to save this next review for tomorrow. So yeah, have a good night, everybody.